empowering the youth and ensure overall growth of the country. The President spoke this Saturday at the State House during a meeting with the leadership of Flutterwave, a fintech company. State House correspondent Musbaut Wahab reports.
President Bola Tinubu makes an unusual appearance in his office this Saturday. It is for a course with potential to enhance his administration's developmental plan for youth empowerment and economic advancements. Fintech. This is what Flutterwave, an African fintech company from Nigeria, creating platform for digital and cross-border payments, says he has been doing for about a decade on the continent.
We have built a system that has made it easy for Nigerians to pay for Uber, Netflix in Naira here in Nigeria. We've gone to attract global merchants to come to Nigeria and localize their payments now in Nigeria. In the last couple of years as well, sir, we launched a remittance platform, which is that how do we help Nigerians, even in diaspora, sir, to send money back home to Nigeria and help us to generate foreign currency in Nigeria today.
And apparently convinced by the current administration's commitments toward boosting investments in the country, the company, as it seeks collaboration of the governments, expresses readiness to expand its scope and create more opportunities for Nigerians.
Why can't we create liquidity for Nigerians in Nigeria? And we think that should happen at this time. What we build with the support, sir, we will show that indeed Nigeria can build global companies that will scale and ensure that Nigeria really is ready for business.
Our role here really is to drive financial and strategic positioning of Nigeria's influence by promoting the country's economic sovereignty and its economic supremacy.
As Mr. President, we would also be interested in Nigeria investing and benefiting from your deep involvement in growing the economy, digitizing the economy, helping to diversify it, and most important of all, upskilling our young people, our teeming population, which is going to actually be the workforce of the world in future.
We believe that as part of our dominance, economic dominance within the continent, we need to begin to spend money, our own money, in the country. And I would also suggest that if we're going to take a position in there, we should insist that the hosting, part of that revenue should stay in Nigeria by them having that service being hosted in Nigeria, Your Excellency.
President Bola Tinubu has from the outset been assuring of his administration's readiness in removing hindrances on the way of doing good businesses in the country. And here, he finds this company a potential right partner in his plan to open up investment opportunities for a greater economy.
Leadership that you are providing in the digital world is what Nigeria needs today to grow its economy, to identify its population, to make life easy for thousands and millions of people. And if they ride well on your platform, and you create all those branches and, little yokes, you definitely make a great Nigeria possible.
The company is to work out areas of collaboration with relevant government agencies in the coming days. From the State House, Musbau Wahab, NTA News.
500 women in Kwara State are benefiting from Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu's empowerment items across the 16 local government areas of the state. Performing the symbolic presentation in Ilorin on behalf of the First Lady, wife of the Kwara State Governor, Ambassador Olufolake Abdulrazak, urged the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the items for economic emancipation. Abdul Hafiz Alaya's report is here presented.
Recognizing the indispensable role of women in nation building, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, in collaboration with Renewed Hope Initiative, is empowering the women to make them self-reliant. Items distributed include deep freezers, gas cooker oven, power generating set, and grinding machine. Represented by the wife of the Kwara State Governor, Senator Oluremi Tinubu disclosed that the empowerment was meant to promote economic independence among women while engendering an inclusive national development. Ambassador Olufolake Abdurazak itemized some of the support schemes that Kwara women, youth, and farmers have benefited under the Renew Hope initiative, with ripple effect on the economic well-being of the people.
This gesture of the Renewed Hope initiative of Her Excellency the First Lady of Nigeria no doubt brings to the fore the importance of prioritizing small businesses as well as promoting the economic empowerment of women and their welfare.
We trust that seeds being sown today will blossom into thriving enterprises, uplifting not just individual household, but entire community.
Muslimat Badmos, a soft drink vendor, will no longer spend larger part of her profit to buy iced block because she is now a proud owner of a deep freezer, courtesy of the Renew Hope empowerment.
The First Lady really surprised us. I want to say a big thank you to the First Lady, and we pray that may the Lord sustain her.
The empowerment, targeted at 18,500 women in the 36 states and FCT, commenced simultaneously in the 6 states of the north-central Nigeria.
It was part of an effort to rekindle the flames of the once vibrant works of literature that the Association of Nigerian Authors Reading and Writing Dialogue came up in Abuja. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo was guest author with a piece on the role of a writer in nation building. Ayodeji Makinde reports.
Is regarded as home to some of the best writers in the world. While some are no more, this monthly event by these men and women of letters is a deliberate attempt to keep the art of writing, reading, and counting alive. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo, a renowned author, accompanied by associates, engaged participants in an interactive session highlighting the invaluable roles writers play in the development of any country. At this day of social media influence, General Obasanjo calls on youth to dedicate more time to reading books as they contain secrets of mystics and pathways to future successes.
If you sit down and you say you are leaders of tomorrow, that tomorrow will never come. Those who are there today will destroy your tomorrow, and you won't have any tomorrow where you will be leader. You are leaders of today. Take up today.
We initiated cash prize contests like the poem of the week and the short story of the bi-weekly, as well as the Young Writers Club, where writers were mentored and empowered to publish their creative works.
There was a poetry slam, which sprang up open mic contests between secondary and tertiary institution students, while their voices as Gen Zs boomed in the hall with different classes of generations in attendance. 87-year-old Obasanjo of the Silent Generation was presented with autographed copies of books by 13-year-old Adeyanju twins of the Alpha Generation. In Abuja, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Kunle Salako, says that government is prioritizing the health and well-being of Nigerians by mitigating the peculiar challenges in the health sector. This was during an official visit to the Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Aro, and Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Lekon Agbonde has details.
Special arrangements as part of his tour. The minister's entourage arrives at Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, and the 81-year-old Neuropsychiatric Hospital is the first port of call. They had a thorough assessment of ongoing and completed projects, and then an interactive engagement with staff and stakeholders in the mental health institution. The minister identifies 4 challenges that include manpower gaps occasioned by Japa syndrome, funding, power and energy, and the challenge of counterfeiting, but is optimistic that the robust mechanism being put in place, such as huge investments in training of more medical personnel, collaboration with relevant private investors, and other systemic arrangements by President Bola Tinubu's administration, is addressing the situation for positive turnaround in the sector.
Before now, for you to recruit health workers, you have to go through a very, very long process. But because of the priority that President has placed to recruitment of health workers, he has given us a waiver, where at the ministry level, we can sit down based on the requests the hospitals have made, and we can issue them waiver, and then they can quickly go through the due process and engage workers. So we're able to replace workers that are leaving much more.
We collaborate on the primary health level, on the secondary health level. At the moment, we have actually, we have what we call BMOG centers that the federal government has supported us in upgrading, and we would use places like Aro and a Federal Medical Center, Abuja, as a tertiary referral center.
We're looking at collaborations from the Ministry of Health on the implementation of the Mental Health Act. And just like what the minister said, we hope to collaborate with the state government, to domesticate the Mental Health Act in Ogun State.
The train thereafter proceeded to the Federal Medical Center, Abuja, where the minister also went on inspection tour of facilities and projects before an interactive engagement with the management and staff of the health institution. In Abuja, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
The thorny issue of disagreements between National Hajj Commission of Nigeria and a Saudi-based service provider that threatened successful Hajj 2025 appears to have been resolved. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Abdullahi Saleh Usman, and Chairman of the company, Muhammad Hassan, at the Commission signed an amendment to the contractual agreement that raised the earlier dusts. Professor Usman assured intending pilgrims of the Commission's readiness to conduct a smooth and hitch-free Hajj exercise with safety and welfare of pilgrims as its utmost priority.
So I want to use this opportunity to assure all intending pilgrims from Nigeria this year that the Commission has not cancelled any contract.
A clause in the 2025 Hajj contracts with the service provider had earlier elicited disagreements between the two bodies, with prospective 2025 pilgrims expressing fear about their welfare. And that's the news beats. We